Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Gooners podcast. So we are back with the review for the Crystal Palace game. It's surprising, but it's also not surprising because there was no games played in between where we didn't have an episode. But now we are back. Today we have Arun back with us. Hi, Arun.
Hello.
And Deepak. Hi, Deepak.
Hello.
So before we start, as usual, please do like, share, subscribe, and comment in, and reach out to us if you want to be part of this podcast uh, panel, if that's what we can call ourselves. Um, but let's start the game. It was a 5-0 victory, coming back to coming back from the warm weather training. Is that what it's called? Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's a 5-star performance from the boys. I'll start with Deepak. Deepak, 5-0 win, like after, we have been talking about how 3 losses or 1 win in 7 games, all that is horrible form to be in. But a 5-0 win, I don't think it kind of like redeems everything in one game, but is it the start of the path towards redemption? Do you feel this is the
Hopefully,
start?
I no, it's a start. Yeah, of course, it's game. We said the same thing, right? Like when we drew against Liverpool, this should be the point where we should kick on, but it
Mhm.
didn't happen. It turned out to be worse. So this probably, yeah, we should turn the tide right now. Uh, Not just go on and like draw or lose the game. Then this final is pointless.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that should be the main focus for Arteta, that don't lose the momentum, win against Nottingham Forest, because the next game would be like crucial
Yeah.
game against Liverpool. If we lose that, we can like say bye bye to title and stuff.
Mhm. But Arun, so coming back to this game's reaction, right? As a fan, you're coming back after a three game losing streak, and then there has been so many talks about like how this is not good, this is not good, this is not good, that is not good. Even in our podcast, we did that episode. Me and Aravind did that episode about like talking about what is good and what is bad. There are still more to come in that series, anyways. Uh, but as a fan, does this restore or does this start to repair that kind of doubt that you had in the team?
No, because the doubt that I got was after a run of 7 games. It was not just one game that made me believe that we are not going to win or anything. So just not like just a 1-5-0 is not going to change that opinion right now. I need to see like more games over the next run of like 5 or 6 games. Like Deepak said, we should be able to get as many points as possible to be anywhere closer to the title, because Liverpool, like they played without Salah, they played without Trent, and it didn't seem to affect them at all. They beat Bournemouth, the most informed team in the league, away from home 4-0. And
Yep.
City have a game in hand. So if we were to realistically have any ambitions for the title, we should like have a run in the next 5, 6 games where we probably get like 15 to 18 points. So that should be the aim for us. And most important thing would be to win against Liverpool,
Mhm.
because like the next game is against Nottingham Forest. It's not that difficult, but like we cannot take it lightly. But the main test would be against Liverpool, which would give us an opportunity to like lessen the gap even further. So this one game and this one result has not done anything to restore anything back for me.
Mhm.
It's made me sort of look at like the set pieces as a more potent weapon than ever before. But like beyond that, it's not making me think that the over on the back of this 5-0 we're going to be able to win the league.
But it is interesting, right? Like because we came back from the warm weather training and the team looked a lot different. As in, when you look at the starting lineup, Arun, right? Yes, we dropped, Martinelli or Trossard started, to say the least, and then Zinchenko got back into the team. But then, like the substitutions were different. The way we
Mm.
played was different. right? Like I don't think we had that right hand bias. We had a left hand bias too. I mean, it's not a bias, but we had our left functional, and I see a lot of even during the game I saw a lot of what's his name, Jesus going to the left and leaving the space for uh, uh, Kai to come in. So there were a lot of different way, even the set pieces, like you said, instead of the the first line or the near post deliveries, we had a far post deliveries for both the scoring. So we played a different way. Do you feel that it was a different way for this game, or is it like, are we going to be using this forward?
It was surprising you mentioned we went from we had build up on the left, because like I was looking at the pass map after the end of the game, and the
Hmm.
pass map sort of suggested that like most of our build up, most of our passing was on the right side actually.
Oh.
So we were like actually pretty strong on the right side, with the movement being from like Saliba to White, to Saka. That was a big thing. But when it came to the left, it was mainly like the passing between uh, Rice to Zinchenko and Gabriel to Zinchenko. So these are the kind of games where we know when you're playing at home against a low block, Zinchenko is going to definitely do well. The good thing was White was very sharp too. So our White players did really well. The change from the other games that I noticed in this game was the release. We were not holding on to the ball for too long. We were trying to release it as soon as possible. Of course, there were many instances where Jesus was caught offside.
Yeah.
But like that was the main plan. Like we were trying to release it as soon as possible. It wasn't great in the first half. In the first half, if you take those two set pieces out, we really weren't doing anything, and we really weren't doing much, like to a good quality. It changed in the second half, but like that was the thing, right? So mainly like when we were playing with Kai Havertz in the first half, the build-up sort of was good for the first 25 minutes, I would say, from his side too. He was making some progressive passes, but beyond that, there was nothing really coming from that side. It was more on the right. But then again, you could also say that Crystal Palace are a very, very weakened team at this point. Like they're not a strong team. Apart from, let's say, Mateta and to an extent Eze, there was no one really doing anything for them. So, which gave us sort of again the more of the freedom to be able to play the way we wanted,
Hmm.
without having the fear of like getting caught in transition or like losing out on possession. We were dispossessed a lot, but it didn't really amount to anything from their side. So the main difference that I saw was trying to be in positions where when we have the numerical man advantage, we can make maximum use of it by releasing the ball and letting it reach the outlet really, really quickly. So that was the main thing that I saw. And in second half, when ESR came in place of Havertz, I was really happy that he got a good 30 minutes. He like sort of showed what is really needed in that position. The way in which he was able to take the ball from the left and he was able to turn, move, do it on the half turn, and then like pass the ball forward, make it even more progressive. He was keeping things ticking in the final third, which is what we have been lacking for such a long time.
It's
So
such
yeah,
a
it
it's
was
such a
really good in that
interesting
sense.
thing to about ESR, right? Like because we have all been clamoring for his return for quite some time, and then he makes this. I'm not going to say, oh, this is it. He's going to be the one or something. But
No,
what
no,
he
no, no.
brings to this team is something that is lacking from the rest of the team. He
Yeah.
runs with the ball, which is lacking in the midfield, is what I felt. But Deepak, about the set pieces, right? Like as I was mentioning, before this game, we were all complaining about the set pieces not reaching the first man. Remember, all the set pieces were like so close and stuff. And then this game, what else can he do? He is asked to take the set piece. He is asked to do the man marking. He is asked to cover everything. But like that set piece delivery, not just that, even the second goal, the set piece delivery was deep.
Mm.
Isn't that what we have been asking? Like, why has it taken so long for the team to realize that we can mix it up? We can even deliver it deep in the box.
I don't like what it has taken. Maybe we really suck at taking set pieces.
But we are
Uh,
the highest scored team from set pieces.
yeah, but that happened like it happened like what? Yeah, maybe. But yeah, we for the last like what 3 4 games, Trossard, Martinelli, Saka, everyone was like literally hitting the first or the second man. They didn't even like
Mhm.
cross those two to even score goals. Yeah, that also like probably contributed to the way we are losing those games, because given that that has become our more potent weapon, right? So if we are not even using that properly, then it has to be like leading to losses. But hopefully, yeah, that got rectified, and yeah, those, not just those two, right? We all the corners we probably trouble them a lot, not just
Mhm.
those two. So yeah, hopefully this continues. Yeah, but underlying thing is like, don't just make it this like this one game.
Yeah.
Hopefully it stays on. That's the underlying point.
Hmm. The thing
I
is,
think it's
right, like,
also like got to do with the ability of the person taking the corner, right? Like
yeah,
we had like Declan take the corners this time. Declan from the left. Like I thought it was going to be Trossard because that's how we usually operate.
I think Declan, and also there was one corner which I think Zinchenko took.
Yeah,
So I think that now the people who are taking it is going to be
yeah,
different. I don't know whether that's the idea or not. And I also like, I know that we got the goal from Saka's corner, but I still feel that there has to be someone else who could take from that side too. You know,
absolutely, yeah.
Good. But the interesting thing before all that is, um, the Raya conundrum in this whole situation. I know everyone's talking about his release and the goal and all those things, right? And there is no point in like I'm not making a point here about like, oh, we need to, why are we signing Raya? Because we have signed him. I think Fabrizio, he has come out and said like,
Yeah, yeah. We
yeah,
are
it's
going to
it's
spend
it's
the
not
money. Yeah.
like an option. It's just like Brentford did a deal like to help Arsenal for this. So Raya is our goalkeeper. There is no chance of like us not signing him and stuff like that. And that was a beautiful goal. The third goal was like his release was great, and then Jesus' run and the pass, and then Trossard's touch and everything was great. But I
It
want
took
to
10
go,
seconds in total from the
yeah,
time of
but I want to
release.
go back a little bit before that, which was Raya would do a pass that would be directly to the Crystal Palace player,
Can't, yeah,
and that
taking
was
a
a shot
shot.
that he would
Yeah, he
yeah,
saved.
save.
And yeah, Arsenal, like that Facebook page or Instagram page posted great save. Like I was like, what shit? It came because of a stupid pass.
But that's the thing, right? Like that's my worry about Raya. Yes, he makes those Hollywood great passes from time to time, but that's not the only thing. And I know this is a beaten drum, and I don't want to keep doing that again. But this game, if I have to ask you both, like, do you think this game is proof that Raya is good for our first? I mean, who are we to decide? But as an Arsenal fan, do you think this makes the case for Raya as number one?
Mm. Actually, no, I would say like both the goalkeepers which we currently have are not world class, or even like probably they are in tier two or something. The only world class goalkeeper currently in Premier League is Allison, who is like miles above everyone. And then comes probably Ederson or something. Yeah, Ederson is good. Whatever he does for City, it's good. But rest of the goalkeepers are below those two, which is clearly known. Like probably the Tottenham goalkeeper, he has had a great start. But other than that, everyone is like that mid level, which we have to clearly accept. The the problem with us fans, right? Why we signed Raya? That is the underlying problem with other positions we have. We didn't need to spend like 30 million or 35 million on Raya. That is the exact problem. For sure, Raya is not an upgrade on Ramsdale, at least till now what we have seen. So
Hmm.
yeah, still whether he is the number one or not, that is not up to us. It is decided he is the number one.
No,
Arteta is not
I
going
know,
to
but
change that.
that's the point, right? Like I'm just trying to make the point. Like, do you think he deserved to be the starter, right? Like that's the only thing. But yeah,
Yeah,
we get it.
no,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's not a defining statement at this moment. But I don't like um for me the most you mentioned Smith Rowe, but for me the most important player that I saw in this game that kind of got me a little bit more excited was seeing Jorginho play. I
Mm.
used to hate him when he used to play for Chelsea, right? Because I was like, oh, this guy is slow. What is he? What is he? But now when he plays, I can see actually like what he brings to the team. Not just about that one pass, but when he came in, I mean no disrespect to Rice. Rice is amazing, but still, when he came in, he saw or he gave us a completely different dimension. I think I Yeah, regarding Jorginho, right? Like what he brought to that team during that game was completely different to what Rice brings, and it's closer to what Partey brings, is what I think. Do you
Yeah,
feel that way?
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Jorginho is
yeah.
the one who's like the best progressive passer. He's like a metronome. For me, like for the amount of money that we paid for him, I was really happy that we got a player like him. You know, like he's a quality player who can get things moving. The only problem that he has is physicality. If you really think about it, apart from that, like it, and even that, like he compensates it with his intelligence. So yeah, Jorginho is definitely a fantastic, probably more progressive, like more incisive, I would say. Like Rice makes progressive passes, but even in progressive passes, he chooses the easier option, which you cannot blame him for because that's just the start of his career at Arsenal. So, but Jorginho is like more adept at doing that. So yeah, definitely Jorginho is like, is the perfect man for things like this. I would actually prefer that he stays as like, one of the three, third or fourth choice different midfielder for us. Someone who can do the job in the absence of Party or Rice. He's definitely there. Yeah, I was very happy with what he did.
Not just about like in the absence of them, but like this game kind of typified what we could do. And I was again was wondering like in previous games when we were like so I wouldn't say bereft of ideas, but like we weren't converting our chances and stuff, and we were being one-dimensional, easy to defend. Why didn't we bring Jorginho in to play a game like this? That's something that I always will wonder. But Deepak, one last thing about the game is the debate, or not the debate, about the decision about like Trossard and Martinelli, right? Yeah, Trossard scored a goal, and then Martinelli comes in and scores two. Um, Next game, who do you start?
uh, Trossard. Yeah, this is a good like boost for Martinelli. Probably he needed it. I think even last season he was stuck in a rut or something where even though he scored 15, right? I think in the middle of the season, I think he went with 6 or 7 games without a goal, and something similar to this. He scored a goal and then he started like banging in goals. So hopefully that starts to happen again. But I think I would still start Trossard and like slowly bring Marty into form and bring him into the team. Obviously, he is the better goal scorer, probably the best goal scorer we have. If we saw the 2 chances, 2 goals. If it had been Jesus, it would have been missed for sure.
Uh, yeah, and I cannot disagree with that statement. But yeah, I don't any last thoughts on the game before actually I want to talk about something else with both of you. At the end of the game, we saw that Crystal Palace fans had the banners and stuff, right? I think so. Roy Hudson, we have seen him all our life. I think we have seen him manage a club in all our life. Uh, the last standing old school manager is what I would call him, and looks like he might be on his way out.
Yeah. I mean,
Arun, any
like
thoughts?
they were totally deflated the moment like those banners came out. I felt sorry for them after that point. Like, the role of the fan, if you're not able to support your team, don't deflate them. That's the worst thing that you can do as a fan, especially in an away ground against like a big team. They were already 3-0 down, and then you put these banners up. The players are not going to feel like playing anymore. And that's exactly what happened. And for Hudson, like he 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 had retired. They brought him back, So I don't think he can be blamed. It's the owners and the owners. Like I think they are also uh, owning Lyon in France, and Lyon are in relegation spot. So whether it's not no point changing Hodgson and bringing a new manager, and if the owners are going to remain the same and do the same things that they're doing, like he even mentioned that we are happy being in the Premier League, and then that's good for us. Like with ambitions like that, if you are just going to be happy being in the Premier League and happy being in 10 to 15, it's only a matter of time before you get the drop. So it's hopefully it doesn't head that way. But that's all. So I feel really sorry for Hodgson, and hopefully if he does get sacked now, he should call it a day and not come back, because the way Crystal Palace operate, that cycle repeats every 2 years.
Yeah.
They try a couple of things, nothing works, they go back to Hodgson. This time he should be firm, uh, leave and not come back if they try to bring back him. That's what I would say. He's been like a fantastic manager for such a long time.
Will you consider thinking Deepak on this question, right? Like, would you consider putting Roy Hodgson in any of the legendary managers of Premier League?
No, no, he's a good manager, but not at that legendary category. Probably, maybe like English people would call him legendary, but yeah, not for a, yeah. He didn't do enough to be
Do you
considered as
like
legendary.
okay, let me put it this way. Do you think Roy Hodgson would do a better role as England manager than Gareth Southgate?
Yes,
I don't know, because we don't like
he
the way.
was a linger. He was the England manager for 4 years, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
That's the thing, right? Like we are talking about Southgate, we probably don't like him because of the kind of football that he plays with the talent at his disposal. But he has the finals to show for. He's probably done better than any other England manager
yeah.
in the last 10, 15 years, I would say. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe boring football does win you titles sometimes. Maybe let's see. This Euros are coming up, right? Let's see.
But okay, so the other last question about this, right? Like now that Crystal Palace is in this crisis, if you could pull one player from their team, who would you take?
Is it?
yeah, probably him. Yes,
Is it or Elise? One of the two, yeah.
only. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Their strikers are also shit. So no point.
Okay, so yes, that is our review for the Crystal Palace game. I don't think we have anything to add in that game more. It's a 5-0 win. Of course, we are happy, but still, I think we don't want to over-inflate our ego at this point. But match day, what was the match day? 21 had
Mhm.
it was one of the longest match days ever because it started in 12th Jan or something and then ended 22nd
20,
Jan.
yeah.
Like literally it went through all the days. So let's go through the games quickly because there are only a couple of games that's very interesting. Burnley Luton Town was a 1-1. I don't think there is a lot
I
of
don't
stuff.
even remember what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that is both the bottom feeders playing against each other. That's all we could say about it. But around Chelsea had a 1-0 win against Fulham. I think Fulham played really well. It was the penalty that Cole Palmer, that's the one that differentiated. But I think what's his name? Lillian kind of had a great shot and stuff. Uh,
I didn't see that game actually.
oh,
It
okay.
was the Man City Newcastle game that I was watching. I didn't see the
Yeah,
Chelsea
yeah,
game.
we will talk about that. But I just wanted to because there was this talk about Chelsea resurgence and stuff, right? But I still don't see where the goals are coming from for Chelsea.
No, there's no resurgence there. They just playing, sort of going with the flow this season, which was, I believe, expected. And I'm thinking that by the end of the season they get some sort of rhythm. That's what the manager can hope for at this point, and because this season was always going to be tough for them. Too many players, new manager, he's trying to implement a system, too much
Mhm.
of confusion. it was going to take this season. But if they get things right by the end of the season, they'll be like in like the Champions League spot contention for the next season for sure. But yeah,
Mhm.
they're winning for after being at I think 10th for a long time. They moved up. They're now ninth. So there are things for them to be happy about.
Mhm.
They are
So,
just one win away from being in Europa League spot,
Yeah.
just like in sixth.
okay. So the best game of the weekend though was, or the game week was that Newcastle Manchester City game. I mean, it was not the best game. It was from a game standpoint, it was decent. There was nothing much happening until like De Bruyne turned up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a player! What a player, right? Comes in and turns the game completely on its head. I'm so jealous of such a player for
No, that's the thing,
City.
right? I always keep saying this. We throw this word world class around for all the players. Everyone is told to be world class, but these are the real world class players. Like someone like a De Bruyne who comes in and like he puts his hand up saying that I'm the one going to make a difference, or a Salah when he's in the mood and he's scoring those goals. Those are the world class players that you want to see. Like not like naming everyone world class, or like you want Saka to become like Salah, but calling Saka world class and putting him in the same bracket as Salah is not right. And it's same thing with De Bruyne and Odegaard. They're just showing the levels, and that's the levels that these guys should aspire to be. So yeah, that's the definition of world class was Kevin De Bruyne. The goals, it resulted in goals, fantastic. But the way in which he played in the 20 minutes that he was on the pitch, the way in which he was like creating chances, the way in which he took the game in his hands and changed everything. That's what defines world class for me.
Deepak,
It's starting. It's
peak
it's
season is
20 games,
starting right now.
right? 18 more games. Win, 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 win. That's it. That is what is going to happen. It's inevitable from the way we saw. And there is still Haaland to come.
Yep,
Yeah.
that is true.
So, yeah, it's going to be tough. But, yeah, like Arun said, is world class. So, like, is a game changer. I think
Mm.
we don't even have one game changer who just like changes the game for us. I think the last player we had was probably Alexis Sanchez, who
Yeah.
used to do something out of the blue.
Yep,
Yeah, every team has, right. Liverpool has Salah or Trent or something. City has so many people,
yep.
and like even Tottenham has Son. He can do something out of the thing, like, but not for us. So probably that is the one person we might need to go to the next level.
Mm-mm-mm.
Okay, so the next game is Everton Aston Villa. Again, like not an interesting game. But the interesting thing is Aston Villa uh, drew, so they didn't get that point. So let's
That was
see.
also a good game. Everton Aston Villa was a good 0-0. Like how
Yeah,
today
Everton played
Brighton
really out of
Wolves
this
was a
game.
good 0-0 today. Both
Yeah.
teams played try to score as much as possible. Yeah.
Mhm. But the other good game, or I would say the interesting game, was United Tottenham. I really wanted both the teams to lose, but as usual, like the best situation we could have is a draw. So I don't see any. There was this talk about like Richarlison having more goals than all our Brazilians together and stuff like that. But I see Tottenham playing well, but I don't see them going any distance. The same way United, I don't see them going any distance to be even top four.
We keep saying
Tottenham
this, and
might,
Tottenham are slowly
yeah.
winning, and they're just like how many points behind us? Just like 3 points
3 points,
behind.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's not a lot. You talk about United, they're 18 points behind us. That's a different story. But I wouldn't discount Tottenham out there. For me, I think they'll finish fourth or fifth. Yeah, definitely. Like we
Yeah.
can say for a manager in his first season with these players, it's a really, really good result if they finish fourth or fifth. So and I think they would. That's because Madison is coming back, and they don't seem to be missing Bissouma or Sar right now. And they have got a new forward. They've signed someone on loan. They're the only team to actually make signings this January. So they are
And
in
actually, he
really.
looked good. Werner kind of looked good. He would have scored one goal, and I think he was the one assist he gave. He looked
Yeah,
good.
that's what I'm
Probably, yeah.
saying.
It's a good fit, like Werner for Tottenham. Yeah. So for like, yeah, Ange to do this, right? They didn't change any way how they played, even after losing literally like six or seven first team players. which
Yeah.
is like probably commendable. So they
Mm-hmm.
have like a proper structure on how to play, and this is how we are going to play. We are going to be literally open. We don't care how many goals we concede. We are just trying to outscore you. That's what they did against us as well. The 2-2 game where we could have like won 4-2 or something. We were shit. So yeah, they are going to continue this way, and they are not going to change anything. Which is like, yeah, I think they would finish because what else? Like Aston Villa might challenge. So it's between them and Aston Villa and us. If we lose against Liverpool, we three are going to fight for third and fourth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay. So the next game is like Brentford and Nottingham Forest. Again, like three
that was
to
a good
two
game. That
Brentford.
was good. That
That
was
was a good
interesting.
game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there is any takeaway from it apart from like,
Yeah, Tony came back,
Yeah.
scored a
yep,
goal.
Tony came
Scored
back
a
and
goal. They
scored.
had the Undertaker theme playing for him. They made him seem like he was someone who was like a freedom fighter or a cancer survivor coming back after a break. And the guy came in and he cheated in this game as well. He moved the balls
Yeah,
briskly. I was very surprised. How did the referees miss that? I mean, so yeah, that was a good game for them. Sheffield
Sheffield
West
and
Ham,
West
I
Ham,
didn't see
yeah.
the game, but like
Oh, I watched the
opponent team
game.
was a riot. Yeah, the referee lost the plot and everything
Yep.
changed in the last 10 minutes.
It was like the two yellow card was so quick. Like that was like the Martinelli in one
Yeah.
play yellow card kind of situation. So that was interesting. And then the last game was like, I mean, we talked about Brighton Wolves, so it's the last game we have to discuss is the Bournemouth Liverpool. 4-0. They just show their standards, right? They have like Jota starting and suddenly like he scores. And then they have this all with Darwin Nunes playing. That's the thing. It's not like some
yeah.
great forward. He missed a couple of sitters even in this game.
They
They will
don't
score
care. They get
Liverpool.
goal score from everywhere, literally. Your Jota is probably their best finisher, even above Salah. Like because Salah misses chances, but Jota is like, you give him one chance, he's going to score. So yeah, they are obviously we know their midfield is okay. Their defense and forward is like absolutely world class. Can't do anything about it.
I think that's it. That's where we will leave today because we are running out of time. Thank you so much, Arun. Thank you, Deepak. And for anyone listening still, please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. And plus the bell icon. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.